Nancy, Gloria, Mary,
Joanne, Sally,
Rick,
Lorraine,
Ilana,
Carol,
Michael,
Christine,
Jonathan,
Lily,
Harold.
the smile.
A couple of days ago, before the pandemic lockdown, Michael wants to go to Ilana's birthday party with his friends. His wife does not want him to go. She is fearful he'll get COVID. They argue back and forth, and he says, the pandemic is a hoax. You are overreacting. And she says, okay, go and play the Russian roulette with your life. Bang, bang, bang.
Joanne looks out the window. There's a strange woman in the garden. She is lifting up the pots, looking under the rocks. Is she trying to find a key? What do you want? Go away. The woman wants a drink of water. Joanne cannot give her a drink of water. The woman has no mask. Joanne is high risk. The woman tells her, turn on the hose. It's a blistering July heat. The woman is childlike, no mask, no hat, no water. Joanne goes down to the basement where she can safely turn the water on, runs back up the stairs, looks out the window, but she's gone. She couldn't give a thirsty woman a drink of water. Water. When Joanne was a little girl, she was thirsty for her mother.
Joanne heard the ice cream truck bells, and she ran into her mother's room to steal money from her mother to buy her friends ice cream.
I had a lovely time at the party with my friends. I got home and my wife's watching the news. I say hello. She doesn't look at me. Doesn't even acknowledge my hello. She points me to the TV. I know I'm in a doghouse. Dr. Fauci's on. He's telling us Corona is everywhere. It is most transmissible person to person. We have to wear a mask when we go out. Keep socially distanced, wash your hands, and do not go to any social gathering and parties. You can get the virus and give it to someone you love. My wife, she looks at me with fire in her eyes. I am ashamed of myself. That night, I woke up scared with a dream.
Michael is back in Pakistan, where he grew up. There's an epidemic. He's 12 years old, and his skin is all itchy. He has caught the chicken pox, and he has scabs, and he can't stop itching. Grandma says, "Do not itch. Do not scratch. You will be fine." But Michael dreams of being an actor with beautiful skin. If he has scabs on his face, that's all over. Grandma says, "Do not scratch, and I will make you your favorite chicken curry. And you will have a beautiful face." Every day he checks the mirror. Every day he controls himself. And finally one day, he looks in the mirror. And it's all smooth.
Bollywood! Here I come!
I'm coming. Wait for me. But they're running away with the ice cream. They're running away with the ice cream. Wait for me. I want to play. Wait for me. They're gone. I wish I could go back and talk to that little blue Joanne and tell her, you are gonna have friends. You're gonna have to wait a bit, but it's gonna be worth it. Right, guys?
Yes!
And they give the best hugs.
Ilana's walking back and forth, from room to room. She doesn't know what to do with herself. Her dear beloved Joel is gone. Gone with COVID. I won't be sad. I won't be sad. I won't be sad. But I am sad. COVID sad. Joel, the beautiful playwright. Joel, the professor. Joel, the poet. Joel, the pain in the ass. Joel, the nerd. Joel, the Shakespearean poet. Joel would write lines like this for me. As we age together, you open all my wonder. My sun in any weather. Your lightning clasps my thunder. Joel, 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 what am I gonna do? Oh, what's that, the phone? Hello? Oh, you want an editing job? Yeah, I can do that. Oh, did you say deadline? All right, I'll do it.
Ilana's suddenly in a hurry. She has urgent things to do. She goes outside and in a box on the sidewalk, a turtle is trapped. It'll die in the heat if left out there by itself. No agency agrees to help her. Suddenly, out of the blue, an acquaintance appears like an angel. She agrees to take the turtle home. Ilana goes home, wondering.
There's something a bit strange about this turtle. How is it that the turtle turned up and then this angel, Sue, who I barely know, turns up to rescue it? Something's going on here. Wait a minute. Joel used to tell this silly, silly joke about a snail and a turtle. He would sell it to anybody. Joel sent the turtle. I know it. Joel sent that turtle. It's a message to me. Oh, the phone again. Hello. Oh, Sue. Yeah, what happened with the turtle? Oh, the wildlife preserve is going to save the turtle. And Sue told me it has eggs in its tummy. There's going to be new life. Baby turtles!
What are those men doing there? And those trucks? One is very disheveled. And two men are slouching in the front truck. And one's standing against the open door, and he's directly in the middle of the path. So Carol, it's COVID hits, and she goes upstate, and every day she walks for hours up the tracks between the river, Hudson River, and the railroad tracks. This day, she's very surprised. Usually, she sees only fishermen. This day, there are men there in the middle of nowhere, and she can't figure out what are they doing there.
Carol is 12 years old in the 60s. She had to wear a mini skirt to school, even in the cold, freezing Chicago winters. One morning, walking to school when it's dark, she hears footsteps running toward her, running, and she looks and she sees an 8-year-old boy running toward her as fast as he can, and then as he gets in front of her, he puts his hand up her skirt, he hits her on the thigh between her legs and runs off as fast as he can. Ah! She says, and she goes, oh, I'm going to tell the teachers in school, I'm going to tell him what he did, and I'm going to tell him, well, he didn't really do anything. Oh, I don't want him to get into trouble. I don't want him to get into trouble.
So I know what to do. I've seen this before. I've been in the middle of nowhere before. I just stay calm. I just keep walking. They have plenty of time to get out of the way and let me pass. I get closer and I decide to just say hello. But before I do, they say something to each other in a foreign language and then they crack up. Now I'm mad. Now I think it's about me. So I keep approaching the standing man. He's not moving. I have nowhere to go except up the embankment onto the tracks. He goes, so how's your day going? I'm so mad, I don't even want to answer. I keep walking. He goes, what, you're not even going to talk to us? And I say, not after you laughed at me like that. And then I just keep walking. And he goes, well, I know one thing, you don't love yourself. It just made me crack up. I was like, yeah, mansplain it to me, won't you? Like, allow me to introduce you to yourself.
we left from Jerusalem, we left from the train station, I cried and cried and cried and cried all the way to Cairo. In Cairo, my mother said, wrap yourself up in scarves. It's going to be very smelly. And so I had many scarves on me, and we went to Suez, where we were going to get on a submarine. And I was so scared. I was so sure we would never come up again. I held on to my sister, and we walked onto the ship, and the ship never went down. It was a submarine, but it never went under the water. And so that's how I came to America, the land of promise.
On your left, Washington Square, in Greenwich Village, smell, look at those trees, smell that air, painters and pigeons in Washington Square. On your right, Waverly Place, bit of Paris in Greenwich Village. My, what charm, my, what grace, wonderful people on Waverly Place. Ever since 1870, Greenwich Village has been the bohemian cradle of painters, writers, actors, etc., who've gone on to fame and fortune. Today, who knows what future greats live in these twisting alleys? Come along! Here you see Christopher Street, right in the heart of Greenwich Village. My, ain't it quaint, ain't it sweet? Interesting people on Christopher Street, poets, writers, actors, dancers. Here we live, here we love. This is the place for self-expression. Life is grand, life is sweet. Greenwich Village, whee! Here we live, here we love. This is the place for self-expression. Life is grand, life is sweet. Interesting people living on Christopher Street. Interesting people live on Christopher Street.
Sharon and Ruby are at the beach, and the water is low tide. Sharon and Ruby are 8 years old, and Ruby has a tube because she can't swim, and Sharon can swim, but they can go out to the last barrel. Oh, Ruby is going past the last barrel. Sharon can't swim out there and bring her and Ruby back. Oh, where is the lifeguard? He's not on his stand. Oh, there goes the lifeguard. He's going out to get Ruby. Oh, and he picks up Sharon on the way back, and they all go to the sandy shore, saved by the lifeguard.
It's the first summer of COVID, and it's hot. Sharon has been sitting like a couch potato. No gym, no exercise, just watching TV. And her friend Ruby calls her up and says, "Do you want to go to the beach?" And how? Now she's walking in the ocean, but she can't see her feet because the ocean is very murky. She takes one step, and then she takes another step. She feels the little pebbles between her toes. One more step, and then there's a drop. And she falls back on her behind, and she can't get up. She can't get up.
Oh, My feet, I can't lift them. The sand and the rocks, they keep me. I can't get up every time comes another wave. Oh, what am I going to... Oh, I know I'll wait until the wave comes in. I'll let it push me to the hard sand. Yes. And I crawl out. I hope nobody's looking. Oh, now I can walk up to my chair and have myself a wonderful pina colada.
When COVID hit, Jonathan was finishing a biography of Eve Adams, a Polish-Jewish lesbian immigrant to the U.S. in 1912. Because of Eve's work with activist freedom fighters, she was surveilled by conservative public officials and deported, because when she was deported, as Jonathan finished his biography of Eve Adams in his own society, an autocratic U.S. president incited neo-Nazis and white supremacists to commit violence against immigrants and black and brown people and LGBT people. The virus of hate joined COVID to create a national political viral plague.
So when Eve was deported to Poland, she eventually made her way to Paris. And there she became involved with the Bohemian crowd until the Nazis invaded. And she did her best not to be captured, but she was captured and sent to Auschwitz and washed away by history.
As my biography of Eve Adams went to press, it seemed obvious to me Eve's murder by Nazis sounded a warning. A U.S. president who'd lost a democratic election was tried to incite a riot on the U.S. Capitol to keep him president. Ending my life of Eve Adams, I imagined seeing her, a small figure way off in the distance, trying to get our attention. She's waving her arms wildly. She's saying something I can't quite hear. Oh, now I hear. She's shouting, "Don't mourn, organize."
Christine is excited about an upcoming trip to Miami. But she hears about a virus that's spreading, and she buys a mask. She wears it on the plane, and nobody else has a mask on, and people look at her funny. She has a great time in Miami. And when she flies back, more people are wearing masks. So like the whole world changed in a week. So she's home for like 2 weeks and she starts feeling really strange. And she calls her cat sitter. Melissa, if anything bad happens to me, promise you'll take care of my Lily.
Christine is a happy 6th grader, but she has been having a terrible pain in her stomach. She doesn't say anything at home, but one evening she has to be rushed to the emergency room. Her appendix has to be removed. It's full of cherry pits.
Lorraine's world crumbles. Her dentist tells her she has no more bone left in her jaw. She storms out of his office and began walking aimlessly. She finds herself in Lincoln Center. The plaza is deserted. The water fountain is dead. The Chagall panels she loved are replaced by a grotesque head with spikes and bulging eyes. The eyes follow her. She looks away and sees the opera house. Suddenly, she's transported.
I'm at the Metropolitan Opera House. I'm sitting in the family circle. And there's a giant chandelier. No more grotesque head, but this chandelier that's slowly dimming its lights. I watch each light dim, and then I join the applause for the wild-haired conductor who comes to the podium and bows to the audience, and then turns around, picks up his baton, and the music starts. And I know it. It's the love song from Samson and Delilah. And it is a song that my mother sang to me, and my grandmother, who I never met, sang to her. Da 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 da
da. Turns out, when I got sick, Lily got sick. But the vet couldn't come to the house. I couldn't go to the vet. It was locked down. So Melissa came all the way from Brooklyn. She went to the vet, got the medication, and dropped it at my front door. Then I called my doctor. I said, I can't smell anything. I can't taste anything. What should I do? He said, stay home, and if you have trouble breathing, call 911.
I've been cast out. I'm back in this plaza. And there's that head, that grotesque head with those weird eyes that are following me. I don't know what to do. And then I see a security guard, and he's walking by, and I say to him, excuse me, sir, could you tell me, what is that hideous head all about over there? The one with the bulging eyes. He says to me, what head? I said, we're right there, take a look, look up. He looks up and he says, Lady, I have no idea. I turn around and think to myself, what am I going to do now? And then I see it straight ahead of me. There's a sign that says, bed, bath, and beyond. And I have coupons.
It was the summer of COVID. Everything was shutting down. Rick found himself holed up in his apartment, which at first seemed like a safe nest, soon turned into what felt like a prison. Thankfully, his girlfriend Susan lived directly across the street, and they were able to keep in contact. Every night around 7, they would hear cheering from outside, wonder what it was. They found out that people would open up their window, yell, clap, give thanks for the essential workers. But one day they overheard a neighbor saying someone on their block comes out only on Friday nights, brings music, people gather, social distance, masks, of course, and all that stuff, but it was something different. Social gathering much needed. They decided, let's follow her home, see where it is. They find where she lives, and Friday night comes, and they decide to go. And around 7 o'clock, they enter the block, and they see people dancing, singing, music, liberation, freedom.
The first time Rick went to Italy, he was fascinated by the beautiful buildings, the architecture, the plazas, getting cappuccino, and having the best time of his life. He enjoyed his first trip to Italy. It was magnificent.
I may be 5 or 6 years old, and I'm at Grandma and Grandpa's. And what could be better than that? Well, it was the day of New Year's Eve, getting ready for the big party. The place looked fantastic. The basement had murals painted on the wall. There were colored lights for special occasions. Grandma, can we put those lights on? Ah, sure. No, we put them on tonight. You're gonna like it. Don't worry. Food. What are you making? Ah, scungile, calamar, rice bowl. Can I have some? Only you. Everybody else, they gotta wait. Fantastic. Thank you, Grandma. The night comes. Is Uncle Charlie coming? Yeah, Uncle Charlie, Aunt Connie, Linda, Bobby, everybody gonna come. The night comes, and it's fantastic. Family, food, the smells, people coming in and out. It was amazing. Nothing could go wrong because nothing was wrong. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
When I was a little girl, my family, there were indigenous performers. One night, they were to perform in a little theater somewhere in Brooklyn. The stage was set. There was large artificial rocks in the middle of the stage. And my family, in full regalia, were placed on those rocks. Right beside them was an American flag blowing in the breeze. And behind them was a choir singing, "Oh, beautiful for spacious skies." Oh, no, that's not me. That's not my family. We have to tell our own stories, sing our own songs, do our own dances. La 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 la
Alexander Thomas III was born in Brooklyn, New York. But he was the first out of 7 generations, all the way going back to the Danish West Indies to the U.S. Virgin Islands. His 2 brothers, his mother, father, grandparents. He's the only one because Dad was in the Navy. But we grew up in the Amsterdam houses, which was in Midtown Manhattan. They had a lot of cultural events and speaking and theater, singing, acting. And it was a wonderful, wonderful early life. And I learned to cook from my mom. And I used to have these Saturday breakfasts with my friends with fresh squeezed orange juice and Western omelets and real toast and real sausage. And then at 24, I decided to move back to the Virgin Islands.
Harold went to live in St. Thomas. There he became famous for friendly parties to which he invited all kinds of townspeople and made hamburgers and frankfurters, and somebody brought up fresh fish. Harold had been warned about hurricanes, but he had never seen one until he did. He was living on the top floor of a 3-story house when the wind came with the sound of an express train and blew the roof off Harold's house, and Harold was homeless.
Homeless. After 25 years in the Virgin Islands. But that inspired me to come back and do better, and got involved in fashion and got involved in theater and started a catering company and was boogieing down for many, many years. And 2020, I was planning my 72nd birthday. I had the DJ, the caterers, the food, the music and everything. And COVID hit. And I had to cancel my party. I was down and feeling all low on the 20th of April. My cousin Ida called me, said, "Get dressed, we're going to lunch to your favorite place." She drove over. We went, scooped up some wonderful food from a vegetarian place, went to Riverside Park where we stayed in the car because you have to stay social distance. All of a sudden, my favorite nephew says, "Uncle Harold, come on by, I got a gift for you." We drove over. He had me a 6-inch carrot cake, a delicious Thai lunch, some frozen margaritas that was thawing out. But the best part was that he had some marijuana and a new glass pipe. It was the best party I had. We beat COVID.
It was 1980, and Sally's boyfriend wanted to go to India. He wanted to become enlightened. So Sally thought, well, if he becomes enlightened, I should be there to see it happen. So she went to India with him. The first day in Delhi was like, oh my God! So many people, right up to your elbows. There were cars, there were rickshaws, there were bicycles everywhere, and sacred cows. How do you even get across the street? So we went to the older section of Delhi, where it was smaller and quieter, but it was narrower. And Sally said she wanted to get up on a rickshaw, feel some relief from the crowds. And they were up in the rickshaw, and she looks down, and she sees people right up against the rickshaw, and she's looking down, and the wheels are going over people's feet. Oh my God, she says, we're going over people's feet. We're running over people. Oh, I have to get down. I have to get down. I have to get on the ground.
Nora is in Peru on a family visit when COVID hits. The airports close, the country goes in total lockdown. The silver lining, though, is that all her grandchildren are being schooled at home by Zoom, and Nora gets to tutor them. Valeria, who is 17 at the time, is in Montreal studying the poems of Charles Baudelaire. Rereading those poems that she had read when she was Valeria's age awoke in Nora the same turmoil and the same emotions she had felt when she was reading the poems back then. The sensuality of the lines, of the images, of the sound, just gave her butterflies in her stomach. Je m'enivre ardemment des senteurs confondues, afin qu'à mon désir tu ne sois jamais sourde.
Sally did not take home her work from the office when COVID shuts New York City down. She is beating herself up. She looks out the window, and there's a whole city unprepared. She is not to blame.
So now we are going up in the mountains, up the Himalayas, up, and we're going to take a bus. Now I am sitting by the window, and I can look below as we go up, and I see miles below terraced land. Beautiful clouds coming in, rice paddies, vultures flying over these beautiful paddies. And I look directly down the window, and I do not see any road under the window. And I am going, oh my God, we're going to go off the road. We're going to go off the road. And then I look up, and I'm looking at the rearview mirror, and the bus driver is looking at me. He thinks I'm the most interesting thing he's ever seen, and he doesn't take his eyes off me. And I'm thinking, no, don't look at me, look at the road, because we're going to go off the road. And he starts laughing at me. He is laughing, and I'm going, don't laugh at me, don't laugh at me, don't laugh at me. And suddenly I am free.
Nora is 12, and she's going to high school in Geneva.
She goes home after school with her girlfriend Lawrence, and they're talking about boys. Nora talks about Dominique, his deep brown eyes, how she can look right into his soul, his pencil-thin legs, how he walks like Jean-Paul Belmondo. And then she hears her mother's car horn. What a turnoff. She's got to go home with her nervous mother driver. So she gets in, they get home, she gets to get out of the car, and she looks over to her mother. She's not moving.
So Nora is sitting, so I'm sitting in the car with my mom, and she says, Nora, I would like you to tell me what you know about the making of babies and men and women. And I'm thinking, no, this is not happening. Mom, I know everything. I'm 12 years old. Yes, Nora, but I would like you to tell me in your own words. This is so much like her. She wants me to tell her. I'm not saying a word. I'm not playing this game. I get out of the car and slam the door. So Valeria now has to write a poem in the manner of Baudelaire. And I'm thinking, how am I going to deal with the emotions I feel with the poems? And this is my granddaughter. So I see that Baudelaire has a poem called Le Chat, the cat. So I have an idea, Valeria, why don't you write a poem about your dog? She has a chihuahua that's very playful and mischievous, not a sensuous bone in its body. So we do that. The exercise goes very well. I'm very proud of myself. You know, I've handled this pretty well. But what were the words that my mother could not say to me? What were the words that I could not say to Valeria? What were the words?
I've got an idea. Why don't you try doing it with a song? I didn't know what time it was, then I met you. Ah, what a lovely time it was, how sublime it was too. I didn't know what day it was. You took my hand, warm as the month of May it was. And I'll say it was grand, grand to see your face, feel your touch, hear your voice say, you're my own. Grand to be alive, to be young, to be mad, to be yours alone. I didn't know what year it was. Life was no prize. I wanted love, and here it was, shining out of your eyes. I'm wise, and I know what time it is now.
El otro que digo yo, trabaja para West.